Today I'm going to review Forky Asks a Question. These are 10, as of right now I believe, these are 10 3 to 4 minute little short videos on Disney Plus about Forky. Basically, Forky from Toy Story 4 asks his friends or various characters from the Toy Story franchise questions about, it says on Wikipedia about life, but about life and all sorts of things. He asks things like, what is money? What is a friend? What is art? Time, love, computer, a leader, what is reading, all sorts of stuff. What is cheese? That's a good one. They're all written and directed by Bob Peterson. He was the original director of The Good Dinosaur. He was kicked off for story reasons, and he's worked in Pixar. He's been a reliable animator for a long time. It seems like now he just got full creative control of the Forky things for some reason. They're very sort of like simple in what they're doing. Sophie loves them and is really into Toy Story in general, which is actually pretty cool because Toy Story as a franchise is pretty good for the most part. Even the shorts, much better than most kids' entertainment. But with these, I'd say some of them I actually really like, even though I watch them probably all about once a week since they've come out. I believe there are only going to be 10 from my understanding. I do not like, though, it's not presented really as a series. Like, it's presented as individual shorts on Disney Plus, and then like some of them you can skip the intro and some of them you can't. And it seems like sort of haphazard, like they didn't really plan out Forky Asks a Question, even though it's clearly like a show that they developed and they pitched it and they announced Forky Asks a Question as a show. But despite that, they act like it's shorts. I don't know. That's strange, and I don't understand that. But I would recommend certain ones. If I was going to say what are the best ones, I would say What is Love is actually pretty good because you get, if you didn't know, in Toy Story 4, Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner, Carol Burnett, and Betty White have cameos as the baby toys who are in the closet, and they say like 2 lines each or something, which is sort of a waste. Like, why have them all in that at all? But then in this, they have like a whole little Forky short where they talk about what is love, and it's funny, and you get to hear about all of them, do lines with Forky and stuff like that. I know Sophie really likes What is a Computer. That one's pretty cool, where you see the Triceratops and explains what a computer is, and it has something to do with like an English sitcoms that the mom's watching. And then What is Cheese is kind of a weirder one because it's just like they answer way too many questions and don't really explain what cheese is. And I notice sometimes they're like not solely educational, they're more interested in being entertaining, which is fine. That's what I want from them, but not a Sesame Street thing where they're funny and they answer a question. They just like have a little fun with Forky and then it's over. But some of them, like What is Art, does a very good job with it, which is not actually the voice of Timothy Dalton. It's like somebody else does the voice of Timothy Dalton. I forget which. It's, Robin Atkin Downing's, not him. But most of them are the original voices, like, John Rathersberger as Ham is in What is Money, and that one's a little more close to it. Bonnie Hunt, Jeff Garlin, Kristen Shaw, obviously, Wallace Shawn. They're all pretty good. You're not going to feel like you waste your time. They go down pretty quickly, so, even if you don't like it, it's over just as soon as it started. One of the more interesting things about it is it uses the music from Monsters Inc. or the sad Pixar music ironically, which is something I don't think Pixar usually does very often. And I was a little surprised they would do that because Pixar's not really ironic, but they sort of do it in this, which was sort of interesting, frankly. I like Forky Asks a Question. I think it is more for Toy Story fans only, but I think for kids they go down pretty well, and if you're like having to watch kids stuff, they're actually fairly fun and fairly good, and you get like good voice acting and like funny little bits, and it's like they're kind of like slight little nice little like Forky Asks a Question. If you like Tony Hale, who's obviously in all of them because he's Forky, you get kind of cute little things, and I think Bob Peterson does a nice enough job. It doesn't seem like they worked as hard as Pixar usually does, but they're like goofy and fun enough that you're fine with them. Like, What is a Pet is kind of stupid. I don't think there's one I would say is maybe What is a Friend? No, that one's I'm kind of fine with all of them. They're kind of, I would just say I really like What is Love, Baby Don't Hurt Me, and What is a Computer. Those are kind of probably my 2 favorites, but I like What is Art. What is Time is sort of interesting because they advertise it as going one way and then it goes a different way, which I thought was pretty cool. If you like Forky or you're a little kid, I think you'll probably like this. If you're not and you're like, Forky annoys me, you should not watch these, obviously. But for what they are and what they're accomplishing, I I find them like pleasantly okay. Forky asks a question, someone answers it, they have a little funny thing, and then it's over, and you're like, oh, cool. Like it's fine enough to watch one before a movie on Disney Plus, and then go about your day, and you're fine with that. And I think that's what they were trying to do, and I think Disney and Pixar did a fine job at doing that. All right, so that was Forky Asks a Question. I think I did that pretty well, right?